This is the voice of the patriot, and here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we will do it on only one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is said to be the voice of God. My brother, my sister, this is where we speak truth to power. From the news reel, we endeavor to always keep it real. As usual, we have a number of issues we want to look at, and I need you to come along. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is coming from Ghana Web. It says, and I read, "Don't marry non-Adventist unbelievers. Marry from the church." And these are the words of Pastor Ewu to the members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I read, "Now, a video featuring Ghanaian Pastor Andrews Ewu of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is currently trending on TikTok. Now, in the video, Pastor Ewu delivers a sermon titled "The Heroes of God in History," where he advises church members to marry within the Adventist faith. That is why God advises us SDA members, when it is time for you to marry, be careful not to marry a non-Adventist. Young man, if it's time for you to marry, we have a number of women in the church. Choose one and marry her. They will say, this person is Jehovah's Witness. Go for a person and you will see that this person, something will happen. They will say, this person is a believer. He believes in the Bible. No. If he believes in the Bible, why has the person not converted to be an Adventist? He said in tree during the sermon. My brother, my sister, these are the words of Pastor Ewu. These are the terrorists that we have in our country. When I hear people say terrorism hasn't visited Ghana, I sit back and I want to bring these people to the reasoning table and ask them what their definition of terrorism is. Is terrorism only about bombs and guns? These are terrorists. This pastor here is a terrorist. He's worse than Al-Qaeda, worse than Al-Shabaab. These are the people who bomb planes. My brother, listen to this vitriol-laden preaching. Vitriolic utterances. Now, this so-called man of God goes to his church, as reported in this story, and he says, when it's time to get married, don't you ever get married to anyone who is not an Adventist. Don't let them even tell you that this is a Jehovah's Witness person. You will see what will happen. Don't even listen to them when they say this is a believer of the Bible. After all, anybody who believes in the Bible should be an SDA member. And if you are not an Adventist, you are not a believer of the Bible. This is a man who is intolerant, a man with little common sense. This is a terrorist. He does not understand coexistence. These are people who only believe in, listen, this is what our church believes in, and any other person who does not believe in what we believe in is less of a human being. They are dirty terrorists. I have seen this man preach time and again on TV. I've never been interested in his preaching. I think that he forces himself in order to make a certain impact, and it's not working. There are some people who are just in there to make a certain mark that will make them famous. They will try and try, it will never happen. This man is one of those. My brother, my sister, I grew up amongst Adventists, and I know that they are a very gentle-souled people. The very first time I ever walked in a church was the Tamale SDA church. At the time, the lead preacher there in charge of the church was one Agboka. I remember clearly. I don't know if he's still alive or he's passed on to glory. My brother, my sister, my very good friend Patrick Che, he was an Adventist. I was Muslim, but we coexisted. We were so much of friends that I could even follow him to church and sit down and watch him worship, sometimes even join in the worship. And sometimes he also followed me to the mosque. Now this pastor here says, it doesn't matter the amount of friendship you have with anybody. It doesn't matter what your faith is. As long as you are an SDA member, when it comes to marriage, never marry any other person but an Adventist. But let us not be hypocritical. Muslims also have that kind of belief, albeit a little different. Now, a Muslim man is permitted to marry a Christian woman, not the other way around. A Muslim woman is not permitted to marry a non-Muslim man. Jehovah's Witnesses are also like that. They would always preach that if you are a witness, get married to another witness. And we all know in the whole of the world that when it comes to issues of marriage, Jehovah's Witnesses hardly marry somebody who is outside their faith. Much as they will tell you, marry somebody from the faith, they are also a little flexible. Sometimes they'll say, well, if you can't find, keep praying. God will show you one in the church. My brother, my sister, what is religion doing to us? Is it a weapon of division or a weapon of unity? My brother, the other day I was driving around the Awudomi cemetery and I realized that the cemetery has been divided into two. But I told myself, maybe one part is full, so they have decided to extend it. So this is Awudomi cemetery extended. When I went into it, I realized to my shock that one side is for Muslims and the other side is for Christians and some other faiths. It means that even in death, we are not united. We are still divided. A Muslim is not permitted to pray in one way or the other for a non-Muslim when he or she dies. True or false? My brother, my sister, is religion uniting us or it is dividing us? Meanwhile, all these religions that I have mentioned, who will not permit their members to marry other people when they are sick with cancer and they are in the hospitals dying, they don't care who the doctor is. They would openly open up themselves. Every segment of their lives, they would open up and make it accessible to the doctor. All these hypocrites and parasites who limit us to their religious mediocrity, my brother, my sister, they do not care when they are hungry, whether you are a Buddhist or you worship Tigari. As long as they are hungry and you give them food, they will take the food and eat it. What hypocrisy is this? I walk on the streets and I see a lot of beggars on the street. They are people of different faiths. They do not ask you what your faith is before they take food or money from you. Why would you now ask me what my faith is before you marry me? Shall we stop this hypocrisy and terrorist activities? Religion has separated us all this while. That is why, one of the reasons I decided not to be religious anymore. Now, this man of God here says that you could believe in the Bible from morning till night. As long as you are not an SDA person, then you are not a true Bible believer. That's what this blockheaded Pastor Ewu, whatever his name is saying. These are the people who are supposed to lead you to God. These ones with little brains like that. These are the people who pray for presidents during inaugurations. These ones here. These are the people who lay their dirty hands on people's heads to pray for them. If you preach like this, how do you expect to convert me? If you preach this vitriolic preaching, how do you expect to convert me? There are some religions that even will not eat with you if you are not part of them. My brother, my sister. So religion, I ask again, is it to unite us or to divide us? Yet all these religions claim that their foundation is peace. What kind of peace? What kind of unity is this that divides us every now and then? Even in death, Muslims have their own cemetery, Christians have their own cemetery, and so on and so forth. Because when the angel of God descends and a Muslim is buried among Christians, he might not enter because the cemetery is defiled. Hallelujah. Listen. Is that what it means? Muslims must have their own cemetery. Christians must have their own cemetery. Because when a Muslim is buried among Christians and other faiths, when the angel of God, Jibril, comes down to bless people, whatever he comes to do, he will not go there because that cemetery is defiled. But the non-Muslims, is that what it means? Educate me, let me know. Religion is a weapon of division. How many marriages broke? All because the wife or the husband converted to another religion. How many marriages did not happen? All because of people of different faiths and religion. How many people did not get jobs? All because they belong to a certain kind of religion. It's a shame, but this is the reality. And some of these people, they expect that you vote them into power. They will come and serve you. Serve who? When you are so divisive and so discriminative. Now the next thing I want to look at, and I ask you to please come along. I'm reading this from Tree News, one of the most authentic sources of news online. And this one says, boycott any invitation by oral team. And this is minority MPs to Ghanaians. And I read, now the minority in parliament has urged all individuals invited by the Operation Recover All Loot Committee to assist in investigations into corrupt activities to boycott the invitation. Now, according to the minority, the committee has no legal mandate to engage in investigations regarding corruption-related offenses, as there are legally mandated institutions to do so. Now, speaking at a press briefing in Parliament on Wednesday, January 15, 2025, the Member of Parliament for Swami, John Darko, declared that the NPP MPs will not honor any invitation from the oral committee. Operation Recover All Loot. My brother, I'm not a lawyer. If they are saying this one has no legal backing, can I ask them one question? Does it have a moral backing? Hallelujah. Now, every lawyer will tell you that the law is not about morals. It's about the law. I am asking, the society is governed by rules and regulations, aka laws on one side, and two, morals that have been bequeathed to us time and again. Things that we have done that qualify to be called virtues over time, they become morals, not morons. Shall we go deeper into this? I am asking the minority NPP members in parliament, the micro minority that has been rejected by the good people of this country, and statues are being broken left, right, and center because of the ingrates that we voted into power. Can I ask you again, please, If the oral is not backed by law in the country, is it backed by morals? Does it matter if I am clean and a cockroach comes to stand in front of me and asks me to prove that I am clean? Can I ask again? Does it matter if a frog or a duck comes around quacking and asking me to prove that I am clean? If I am truly clean, would that not be a badge of honor to manifest and also to boast about? But you see, if you have cobwebs and skeletons in your cupboard, every slight noise you hear, you wake up as if from a nightmare. The oral team is already injecting inside them fear and panic. All these crooks and criminals, all the people who have looked down on this nation, my brother, my sister, it is time to make things work now. That is why we shall stand on the periphery and make sure that things work. Too long, Ghana has been retrogressing. It is time now, my brother, my sister, to progress. And all hands have to come on deck. It doesn't matter whether the president is handsome or not. It's not a beauty contest. It is a contest of patriotism and progressiveness. Can I go deeper? Hear this now. My brother, my sister, if your heart truly beats for the nation and somebody comes over to you to tell you to do your duty, does it matter if the person has the mandate or not? It's like when a person is hungry and somebody comes to feed you. Do you feed your hunger first before you ask if the person was mandated to bring you food or not? You see, our people have told us this. To the oral team, Okujato, Blakk and the rest of them, I want to pat you on the shoulder. Please, with vehemence, follow up on this. They are shocked that all that you said in opposition, you are trying to make all those manifest into realism. They are shocked. They thought that, oh, you were chairsmates. You were only backing whilst in opposition. And that, now that is your time to enjoy the loot too, they will also start backing. So it's a back and loot kind of government and political system we have in Ghana. Back and loot. If it's my turn to loot, all you can do is backing. A backing dog never bites. How many people know that proverb? A barking dog never bites. They make noise whilst they are in opposition. Blah, 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 blah. And when they have the power, they are not able to prosecute even a cockroach, let alone a lizard. Please, go on with the team. And I will also suggest that whatever legal backing is needed for oral, can we put that in place so that all these hooligans and treacherous people who think that, oh, the oral is not backed by law, can now shut the hell up. My brother, my sister, there's another thing here that I would like to look at, and I need you to come along. A Plus threatens to reveal name of politician who ordered Ahmed Hussein-Suale's killing if police fail to update the public. Jesus. Hey. And this is from Tree News. A Plus threatens to reveal name of politician who ordered Ahmed Hussein-Suale's killing if police fail to update public. And I read, Kwame A Plus, being MP for Gwamwa Central, has demanded the Ghana Police CID provide updates on the Ahmed Hussein-Suale murder investigation within 48 hours. Now, the Member of Parliament for Gomoa Central, Kwame A Plus, has called on the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, of the Ghana Police Service to provide an update on the investigation into the 2019 murder of journalist Ahmed Suale. In a public statement, the MP revealed that he had been invited last year to the CID headquarters, where he identified a former high-profile minister allegedly involved in contracting assailants to carry out the crime. The identification, he stated, was based on credible information provided by a trusted source and disclosed in the presence of the CID director. Mr. Asari criticized the lack of transparency and apparent delay in the investigation, emphasizing that the public deserves to know the current status of the case. It appears the matter has been sidelined, he remarked, and issued a 48-hour ultimatum for the CID to justify the need for additional time, if required, to share the updates. Wow. From when A Plus was chosen to go into the Parliament House to represent his people, I knew that formal things will be informalized. And I knew that radicality will rear its beautiful head in our suit, coat, and tie parliament. Our parliament is too straight-jacketed. The only time the parliament winds down is when, my brother, my sister, there is something of political importance to the political parties and not about Ghana. They go there, they laugh their hearts out as if it is a tea club. May I make this clearer? My brother, my sister, A Plus threatened last year that he knew the killer of Ahmed Suale. What the police did not know, he, A Plus, knew it. We all asked for the police to invite him over. And thankfully, he was invited. And as a man of integrity, A Plus went there with his gray beard, sat down before the police. Unwavering, he told the police what he knew. Evidence that was so deeply entrenched in fact. After that, the police asked him to walk away quietly. He walked home, waiting all this while for updates and for the police to return and say, listen, your information yielded so much. We have been able to arrest A, B, C, D, E, F. He pinpointed a former bigwig in the last government, my brother, my sister, and the police has gone mum over the whole issue. Number. A Plus, I respect this brother. This thing that he has done, yes, he could be controversial, but he's putting the police on his toes. I gave you the information. You told the whole Ghana that you had invited me. And I gave you the information. What have you done with the information? If you don't update the public, 48 hours, I would blow your top. So what was the police supposed to do? Police was supposed to come out and say, yes, we got information from A Plus, good information, and we are working on the information. Right now, as it stands, A Plus needs protection. Now, if big wigs in the last government, at least one big wig, hired assailants to take the life of the young man, Ahmed Suale, and he's gone down the drain today, to protect and hide their identity, they could go for the life of A Plus. My brother, the police must act quick and fast. I like what A Plus has said, and I'm looking forward to having A Plus blow the top of the police, and update the public if within the 48 hours this is not done. But be careful. Before the end of the 48 hours, A Plus needs serious protection. A country like Colombia, a country like Jamaica will not let you live 24 hours, let alone 48 hours before you blow the lead. You will join Ahmed Hussein-Suale. May God protect you, A Plus. I like what you're doing. I support you. This way, justice can be for all. We shouldn't wait until big men commit crimes. We hide the crimes, and when little boys steal plantains and bananas, we quickly announce their names, flash their photographs, and jail them with no chance of having them come out. It's been the voice of the patriot, and here we speak truth to power.